In this video, we are going to talk about Flutter SoLoud. It's an audio engine and it allows you to play the background music. It allows you to play the sound effects, maybe multiple sound effects at the same time in parallel. And it allows you to loop a part of your background music. And also it has a lot of features that you are gonna love it. And the core library called SoLoud, it is written in C++ and Flutter SoLoud is a wrapper around it. The point is that it works very fast and it's perfect for your game. So I'm pretty sure that after this video, you are gonna use it in your game. So stay with me. Hi there, this is Iman Neo. Welcome to my channel. So as I said, we are gonna have some short videos, and in this video we are going to talk about Flutter SoLoud. So as you see, it's a plugin for Flutter, and it allows you to play some audio or music in your game. The point is that it works very fast and it has low latency and it plays with high performance. Okay, so let's talk about the selected features that we have. The first one is low latency and high performance. So it's obvious when you develop a game, it's very important to play the music or the audio very fast because it directly affects the user experience. And yeah, it's very important in games. And the other one is gapless looping for background music and other things. Yeah, the point is that when you play the background music and when it loops, you want to play it after it ends very fast and immediately. So it's called gapless. Yeah, it affects the user experience. When the background music ends, you have to play it immediately from the starting point. And the other feature that it has is the partial looping. So suppose that you have a 3 minutes long background music. It starts from a low BPM and it goes with higher and higher BPM. And in the last 30 seconds, for example, the BPM is consistent and it doesn't go up. So you can loop the 30 seconds at the end of the background music. So this way you can have an infinite background music for your game. So suppose that you are developing a game that is going to be harder and harder, more intense. So you can have the 3 minutes background music and just loop the 30 seconds at the end of the music. So yeah, this is very important. And the other one is ability to load from RAM or play from disk. Also, you can play from network, I believe. So basically, you can load your audio from wherever you have it. And the other one is multiple voices playing different or even the same sound effect multiple times on top of each other. So it's a very cool feature. Suppose that you have a sound effect for when you collect a coin, and there are a lot of coins at the same place. When you collect them, it can play a lot of sound effects with the same source in parallel. So it's very important. The other one is faders. Yeah, it's simple. For example, you have an audio and you want to have fade in and fade out effect for the volume of the audio. So it goes from 0 volume to higher, and when you want to end it, it goes from the higher volume to the 0. So you don't stop the music or audio suddenly. It goes from the higher volume to the 0. So it's like a fade out or fade in effect. And yeah, so the other one is 3D positional audio. It's very important for you when you develop a game. So suppose that you are developing a first-person shooter game, and when someone is walking behind you, you want to hear the sound or hear the audio behind you. So suppose that you have a headphone and you can hear the sound from behind. Or if someone in front you can hear the sound from front of you. And the other thing is that, for example, if someone is far away from you and plays some sound, for example, walking or shooting, you have to hear the audio or the sound with the lowest volume because it's far away from you. Or if someone is near you, you have to hear the audio with the higher volume because it's near you. So basically, suppose that there's a 3D space and there are a lot of audio sources that can be played around you, and you are in the center or other position, and then you can hear the sounds based on the position that you have. And yeah, it's very cool. The other one is support for MP3, WAV, OGG, and FLAC. So these are the supported formats. And the other one is audio effects. So you can add echo effect, you can add equalizer effect. So these are audio effects that you can apply on the audio. And yeah, so as you see, in compared to Flame Audio, you see that here we have much more feature set with Flutter SoLoud, so you can use it in your game. And yeah, so let's get started. I have an empty project here, so it's a default counter app. And in the first step, I'm gonna add the Flutter SoLoud package here by flutter pop add Flutter SoLoud. Yeah, this command finds the latest version of the SoLoud and adds it into the PubSpec file. Yeah, it's here, 202. Now we can have access to the Flutter SoLoud or SoLoud. Yeah, and here we have an instance. We are going to use it. So let's have a SoLoud here, which is SoLoud.instance. And first of all, we need to initialize it. So I'm gonna call init, and yeah, I'm gonna make the main method async. It's not a good idea because it awaits until you see the first frame of the app, but for now that's fine. And also we need to say Flutter widget or Flutter bindings. Yeah, ensure initialized. So this way you tell the Flutter engine to ensure that it is initialized, and then you can await until you call the run app function. And if you run it again, yeah, you see that it works. And for example, let's add some sound effects here. I'm gonna create an assets directory here, and inside that I'm gonna create audio. And inside that, I'm gonna add some sound effects inside the audio, yeah. And let's add the assets directory here in the PubSpec file. Okay, assets audio and Flutter pub get. Okay, now we can have access to the assets directory, and here on the plus button, I'm gonna add something to play. For example, here. Yeah, so as you remember, we have a SoLoud instance here. So at first, let me remove these comments to make it simpler. And yeah, so here we have SoLoud, and inside that we can call load. Yeah, as you see, we have load URL, we have load asset, load file, load waveform. So all of them return an audio source. As you see here, it's a future of audio source. And for example, in this case, we are gonna use load asset, and asset is assets audio, for example, shield 3.wav. And yeah, as you see in the return, we have an audio source, and now we can ask SoLoud to play the audio source that we have. As you see, we have two options. We have play method, also we have play 3D. What's the difference? So in the play method, we need to provide the audio source. The only required field is audio source. Also we have volume, we have pan. Pan is 0 by default. It means that you can hear the audio from both sides. But if you want to hear from left, you can do -1, or if you want to hear from right, you can use +1, I think. Yeah, -1 is fully left and 1 is fully right. And also you have paused, you have looping start at. And yeah, this is the option that I already talked about. You can implement partial looping. So for example, if you have a 3 minutes audio and you want to loop from 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you can do it here, and it loops the end part of the audio. And yeah, but on the other hand, with play 3D, we have more options. So we have 4 required arguments. The first one is sound, the audio source, And we have three parameters: the position of the audio source, so X, Y, and Z. So it's for when you are developing a game, maybe a 2D game or a 3D game, and this is the position of the audio that is playing. So you can define the position, and also I'm pretty sure that you can also define the player position. Let's see, what functions do we have here? Position. Yeah, as you see, we have the get position. It returns the position of the sound that is playing. It accepts a sound handle. And also you can set position. So we have set 3D listener position. So listener is the position that should listen to all the audio sources. So for example, in our first person shooter, the listener is our character that is moving around the map, and it can hear the audio from other sources that are playing something. And also you can change the position of a source that is currently playing. For example, maybe it's a movable object that is playing something and it is moving around. And yeah, so let's stick to the play method. For example, this one, yeah, you need to pass an audio source, and as a result we have sound handle. Yeah, if you take a look at the play method, it returns a sound handle, and it's like an identifier or a handle that you can have it to, for example, change the position of the playing audio, or change the volume, or pause it. And yeah, so here our audio should be played, and also we have access to the sound handle. So let's play it to see what happens. You see, you can hear it multiple times in parallel. So the point is that the audio source can be loaded once. For example, we can have audio source, and it can be a nullable, and we can say if audio source is null, let's initialize it. And here we are pretty sure that it is not null. Yeah, so it's a simplified version. So the point is that the audio source can be loaded once. You can do it in your onload method or in your init method, and then you can play it as many times as you want. For example, let's have an init state. Yeah, and now we can yeah, so let's play it again. Yeah, as you see, we loaded it once. It's in our source variable, and we can play it as many times as we want. And yeah, so with handle, you can do other things. For example, with SoLoud, you can set the volume. For example, it gets a sound handle and a volume. Yeah, you can change the volume after playing it. Yeah, and also you can pause it. For example, you can set paused. The sound and handle is here, and the pause property is true. And if you play it, you can't hear anything, because when we play it, we pause it immediately. And for example, let's add a delay. Yeah. You see that we pause the audio. And yeah, so basically you can take a look at all the functions that we have in the SoLoud. For example, we have dispose all the sources. So when you call this method or this function, it disposes all the sources that you have. So everything is stopped and memory is cleared. So this is perfect for when you want to kill the game or end the game. So it disposes everything. And for example, you can get the length of the audio source. For example, it's our source, and we can print it. Yeah, you see that it's 2 seconds and 437 milliseconds. And the other one is get paused. Yeah, you can check if a sound handle is paused or playing. You can fade the volume. For example, you can pass a sound handle here that you want to change the volume, and it does this with animation. So you fade the volume instead of immediately pausing it. And yeah, with Seek, you can change the playing time. Here we have all the active sounds that we have. And yeah, so we have a lot of functions here. The most interesting one for me is speech text. So it's simple, it plays a text. So for example, we can write, hello, this is Iman Neo, please subscribe. So if you run it, yeah, the point is that it returns an audio source and
hello, this is Iman Neo, please subscribe.
yeah, let's comment out this part.
Hello, this is Iman Neo, please subscribe.
Yeah, also we have some filters. For example, we can add a global filter. It accepts a filter type. So we can say filter type, for example, echo filter. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna add it here. Yeah, I think you got the idea. We can have a lot of filters. You can combine lots of things together. And the last thing that I want to introduce is something very cool. I found it in the files that SoLoud has. For example, here in the IntelliJ, you can click on here. It opens the file that you are viewing. For example, here we are viewing the SoLoud.dart. And if you click on this button, it opens the files that you have here. We have something cool here. It is SoLoud Tools. So there's a function here called create notes. So it creates some notes based on the octave that you pass here, and it's the music notes, and it returns 12 of notes, and you can play it in your game. For example, you can build a piano in your app or in your game, and you can play the sounds here. So for example, let's have a list of audio sources here. And let's call it notes, and here we can say SoLoud tools dot create notes. And as you remember, we have a list of audio sources in the return. It's gonna be here. Oh yeah, we cannot await here because we are in the init state, so we can say then sources notes equals sources. And yeah, so here let's play the first note. Yeah. Oh, that was terrible. I think you need to play it as long as you pressed, and you have to pause it when you remove your finger. So let's do this. Let's create a list of buttons here. For example, we have a column here. Let's have a row, and we can have a list dot generate. We are gonna have 12 items. Index is here. And then we return a container, and with the decoration of border.all. Yeah. And if we hot reload, let's have a size. For example, width is 50, height is 150, and let's make it center. Main axis size is that mean, yeah, it's center. And now let's have an inkwell to have the on tap or on press event. Yeah, okay, it's like a piano. And now let's have the on tap down and on tap up. Yeah, so here we are gonna play a note. Let's grab this code here. On tap down, we play the index. And let's have a list of sound handle. As you remember, in the return of play, we have a sound handle. So let's have a map of int and sound handle. The first one is the index of sound handle, and the second one is the sound handle. We can have playing notes, and it's an empty map by default. Yeah, and when you play something, you have the handle, and you put the handle inside the position. And when you tap up, you are gonna stop the audio. So we can say SoLoud pause the handle. What is the handle? The handle is this one. Let's play it. You see that we created maybe we can fade it. So let's say SoLoud.fade volume, and the handle is this one, and we can set the volume to 0 and with the duration of 2 seconds. Okay, so let's see what happened. Yeah, we created a piano in the app. It works well. So you see that the fade volume works very well. Yeah, let's change the octave to see what happens. I'm not a musician, but we can play around. Where is it? Yeah, it's here. We can change the octave to something like 1. I'm not sure what is it. If you know what is the octave, please let me know in the comment. Yeah. Oh, it seems scary. Let's change it to 2. 55 maybe. Oh, it doesn't accept. Okay, it's 0 to 4, so let's say 4. And let's combine it with the effect that we have. For example, add global filter type, something like, I don't know, robotizer filter. I'm not sure what does it do. Okay, I don't like this filter. Let's stick to the previous one. Yeah, so I think you got the idea. We have SoLoud and we have a lot of functions here. We covered most of them, but there are a lot to discover. And yeah, as you remember in the beginning of the video, I said that we are gonna have a short video, but it is longer than what I expected because it is really interesting to play around with the functions, and yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so I think we are done with this video. I'm not going to cover everything. I just wanted to show you the interesting part of the SoLoud package. And my goal is to motivate you to take a look at the details. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this kind of content, please let me know in the comment. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Share it with your friends, with your colleagues. It supports me. And stay tuned for the next video. Bye.